That's right, Chris. Realised you're old?
No, Dingleberry. I'm just trying to find something newsworthy for this episode, but it's full of nothing interesting. Just news about 50 Shades of Grey.
Well, surely there's that can't tell me.
Some Kardashian person being pregnant. How can a cardigan be pregnant? And Game of Thrones.
Only Game of Thrones I'm interested in is this.
It will be better.
Hey Smeggies, welcome to another episode of SmegChris Review. Let's start with a trailer for, let's see what's new. And I promise to put up a trailer that I've never seen before, so you can get my genuine reaction. Okay, so I'm going to put in trailer, and that's it. Just put trailer, see what comes up. Well, so far I've come across Point Break, which I've already seen, and it looks terrible, so I'm not going to go on about that. Hunger Games. Ha! The Martian. It came out a week ago. Let's have a watch of that.
Every human being has a basic instinct to help each other out.
That's not true.
If a hiker gets lost in the mountains, people coordinate a search. If an earthquake levels the city, people all over the world send emergency supplies.
Got some good actors in there.
This instinct is found in every culture.
And actresses.
The storm had escalated to
Matt
severe.
Damon.
Astronaut Mark Watney was killed.
By the look of things, I'd say no, he wasn't. Based on the best-selling novel.
Record.
They're usually good.
Watney. So, in the face of overwhelming odds, I'm left with only one option. I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this. In your face, Neil Armstrong.
Ridley Scott? Ooh.
Let's go get our boy.
Everything's gonna go south on you.
Don't spoil it, don't show us all of it. I have to say, that actually looks really good. Wow, there's a big cast of names there. Not surprised, Ridley Scott. In case you didn't notice, I played it alongside me, so if you wanted to, you could have just clicked on that to watch it yourselves. If you didn't know that, and you didn't click on it, I'll put a link in the description below, and you can check it out yourselves. But yeah, that's another film that I'm looking forward to. On to television, and now that it has finished, I'm going to give my review of Gotham Season 1. I promise, no spoilers. I shall start with my misgiving, Kat. She seemed to be thrown into the final episode just because she had nothing else to do. In fact, for most of the season it seemed that way with her. I just hope that with Season 2 she has more development. Other than that, it has been a really interesting show. Seeing villains emerge despite knowing who they were, for the most part. Some are kept as surprises. The Ogre storyline was really good, but I felt it finished way too quickly. But that does give the writers more time with more familiar faces. And I have to say that this version of the world of Batman seems to be the most darkest and most violent. Let's just hope they don't take it too far. It did improve as the season went on, and I'm expecting Season 2 to be even better. Well, I hope it is.
Hey, Percy, maybe we should do something similar, seeing as I'm Tomorrowland.
No, we don't have time to look with your puff.
You mean you know what is now in yours?
Exactly.
It's now time for movie review, and yes, I've got 3 again. First up is Tomorrowland, A World Beyond. Starring George Clooney and rising star Britt Robertson, this is a spectacular Disney film. One of the things that I enjoyed most about this film was the interaction between the characters. You could see the chemistry between them. The story isn't too complicated, but you do have to pay attention. Mainly the story is about a teenage girl who just happens to be a genius and is shown another world, so she strives to find out more. Before long though, she finds herself being chased by laser shooting robots. Trust me, it's better than I make it sound. And pardon the pun, but the special effects are out of this world. Some of the inventions shown are so ingenious it makes me wonder, why don't we have these futuristic toys already? Usually around here I'd start mentioning the things that grated me, but to be honest, I can't find a fault here. It's kid friendly and it entertains the adults, and I should know, I'm both. I give Tomorrowland A World Beyond and I have to say, it's one of the best family films I've seen in a long time.
I'm sure I have a joke there somewhere.
Now for my review of San Andreas. It's pretty much a play by the natural disaster numbers type of film. It's also quite contrived at times, forcing disaster upon disaster just for good measure. But don't let that fool you, I still think it's an awesome film. Dwayne Johnson is playing it more straight than he usually does, which is good. Also good was Carla Gugino. I think that's how you say him, was actually playing a main character rather than a side character that usually dies within 5 minutes of being on the screen. And Alexandra Daddario, I think that's how you say her name, is another rising star who proves that beauty can also have brains. The special effects seem scarily real, with buildings tumbling down and streets shaking and bridges disintegrating, but it's all entertaining. I give San Andreas a... And if you like disaster films, then this one's for you.
So you think it has some faults?
I will hit you again.
My final review is of Jurassic World. If you've been watching my videos long enough, you'll know that Jurassic Park is my all-time favourite movie, and I have been waiting a long time for this. So, what do I think of the latest in the franchise? Let me give you a little history lesson. As I've already mentioned, Jurassic Park is my #1 film of all time. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, is in my top 20 somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where, I think maybe 14 or 15. And Jurassic Park 3 is, well, somewhere in the top 300, I think. Don't get me wrong, I like Jurassic Park 3. It's just full of faults and way too short. With all that being said, what do I think of Jurassic World? It is amazing! Fantastic even! In fact, I'm going to go on record to say that it's better than The Lost World. There, I said it. Hard to believe, I know. I don't believe it either, but it's true. If you can remember back to the first time you watched Jurassic Park like I can, you'll remember certain things about it. For example, the awe and spectacle of the movie, the brilliant special effects, those intense scenes where you were sat on the edge of your seat, and those moments where you whoop for joy, not just for the humans, but for the dinosaurs too. Well, guess what? You get all that with Jurassic World. At first it feels like they're rushing straight into the story like they did with Jurassic Park 3. However, it works for this, because you get to learn more about the characters and the dinosaurs. And the more we learn of these characters, the more you fall in love with them. Well, most of them. I was literally on the edge of my seat at some parts of the film. I swear down, at one point, I'm sat back, relaxed, watching this film, enjoying it, and something spectacular happened. I can't exactly remember what, and I slid forward and I was hanging off the seat. True. And the music by Michael Giacchino, I think that's his name, spot on with the theme tune, is all I'm going to say about that. That, and as soon as the soundtrack comes out, I'm getting it. Colin Trevorrow, brilliant direction. In fact, I almost mistook him for Steven Spielberg, who, by the way, was still on board as a producer. And I'm going to say it now, this is by far the best film I've seen all year, so far. You know, like I said, Tomorrowland is one of the best family films I've seen in a long while. This one tops it. I literally can't say enough good things about this movie. I give Jurassic World a... This is by far the best sequel to Jurassic Park.
You're that old that you must have been born in the Jurassic era.
Hit him again, Percy.
Ow!
It's time for me to go. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, peace out.
Hit me any harder, Percy, and I will land it tomorrow.
Starring George Clooney. It's mainly about a teenage girl who just happens to be a genius and is shown another world, so she strives to find out more. But before long, she finds herself being chased by laser shooting robots. If you can remember back to the first time you watched Jurassic Park like I can, you'll remember certain things about it. For example, the awe and spectacle of the movie, the brilliant special effects, those intense scenes where you were sat on the edge of your seat, and those moments where you whoop for joy, not just for the humans, but for the dinosaurs too. Out of the park! No pun. It's pretty much a play by the natural disaster numbers type of film. It's pretty much a son of a bitch. It's a tongue twister, come on. Oh dear.